For the character of Obito Uchiha, I was almost tempted to make 3 separate videos because there's an insane amount of information to cover when it comes to breaking down the true power of Obito. Just the Tobi version of the character has enough information that it should be its own video, as well as Obito Uchiha the ninja and Obito as a Jinchuuriki. However, I'm going to attempt to squeeze everything into one video, and if I feel it gets too lengthy, then I'll just hold off and make a separate video on Jinchuuriki Obito while combining the other 2 versions of the character. So just how powerful was Obito Uchiha? Just from a raw power perspective, this guy was insanely powerful, and to prove this point, I'm going to use a feat from before the war arc, which a lot of people downplay. And we have to keep in mind, Obito got an insane power boost during the war arc, so using this feat from before the war should show you just how powerful Obito is, going all the way back to his battle with Konan. After taking 600 billion paper bombs for 10 minutes straight, which means he had to allow himself to be hit by a few of those paper bombs before he reactivated his Kamui Jutsu for another 5 minutes. Obito, despite being gravely injured, was able to speed blitz Konan, grab her by the throat, and lift her body into the air with utter ease. Now, to help you guys understand just how impressive of a feat this is, despite being gravely injured, Obito was able to lift Konan in the air with her resisting against him, which made it even more difficult. According to Naruto Data Book 3, Kishimoto wrote that Konan had a weight of being 100 pounds even. Essentially, Obito did a one-arm deadlift of 100 pounds, and that's pretty freaking impressive. So keep that in mind as we look over everything that Obito Uchiha was capable of in battle and why he is hands down the most powerful member of the Akatsuki. On top of having all 5 changes in chakra nature mastered, Obito also had a mastery over yin release, yang release, and when he was a Jinchuuriki, he had the mastery over yin yang release, with yin yang release being what Obito used to create the truth seeking balls. On top of that, he also has mastery over wood release, and I don't think I need to tell you guys how powerful and how overpowered wood release can be if it's used by the right person. While Databook 4 doesn't confirm what exactly the Jutsu was, we do know that in manga chapter 666 that Obito also had the ability to absorb chakra. People are quick to downplay Genin version of Obito, but a really close read of the manga reveals that Obito wasn't too bad of a ninja as a Genin and as a Chunin. In fact, when you read the series very closely, the drastic bumps in power that people complain about were actually very carefully implemented into the series when it comes to Obito by Kishimoto. Genin Obito served as a bit of a comedy during the flashback that we got in the chapter that revealed his identity. But one thing that does get overlooked is that once Obito got dead serious about his training, he promptly ascended the ranks all the way to Chunin. It's easy to overlook Obito's strength because he was on a team with a generational talent like Kakashi, and he was being led by another generational talent in Minato. It's like you're the younger brother of a sibling who has a genius level IQ and he skipped ahead a few grades. Even if you made straight A's on your report card, it doesn't compare to what your sibling is doing because the expectations are that much higher. Madara didn't just grab Obito because he thought he'd be easy to manipulate, but he also saw the same thing that Minato told Kushina in the Naruto Ninja Escapades OVA, that in time Obito would grow to become a powerful ninja. And right after Rin died, during the brief training with Madara, Obito went from a Chunin level fighter to pushing Hokage Minato in a battle, while the white Zetsu attached to his body did enhance his chakra, as did the spiral Zetsu suit that he wore when he fought Minato. Obito was growing stronger as well, as shown in the manga when he was training his body to become physically strong enough to leave Madara's cave. The Senju DNA he was given, or Hashirama cells if you want to nitpick, increased his durability, helped him recover faster, and allowed him to go several days without food or any water. As an adult, Obito was able to play around pretending to be Tobi, and he casually captured the Three Tails, all without fully revealing his true power. During the war arc, let's not forget that Obito fought 2 perfect Jinchuuriki and 2 highly skilled elite Jonin in Kakashi and Guy, all without using the Rinnegan Jutsu, mostly due to Obito admitting that Kakashi and Naruto having knowledge about the Rinnegan made it pointless for him to waste his chakra, but even then, he was in total control and he almost managed to capture Naruto on a couple occasions. Sharingan is already overpowered. I think we all can agree with that. The Eye of Hypnotism and the Eye of Hindsight in themselves is insanely powerful. But Obito's Eye of Hypnotism was on an entirely different level. More than once it was stated that a perfect Jinchuuriki couldn't be placed under Genjutsu, and yet after training with Madara, Obito was able to place the 4th Mizukage under a Genjutsu for several years without people realizing it until it was too late. His Mangekyo Sharingan came with perhaps the most broken ability in the series ever, Kamui. This allowed him to make his body completely invulnerable to attacks for 5 minutes at a time, and it allowed him to warp himself away to separate dimensions. The only real way to counter it in battle was either to attack it from within the Kamui space using Kakashi's Sharingan, or to land a direct hit on Obito during the small split second that he allows himself to become tangible when he counterattacks. The craziest part about all of this is that before Obito died, it was revealed that he could actually access other space-time dimensions using his Kamui, though doing so exhausted an enormous amount of his chakra, but still that's pretty damn scary when you think about it. When he possessed the Rinnegan, Obito was confirmed in both the manga by his own admittance as well as in the 4th data book written by series creator Masashi Kishimoto to be able to effectively wield all of the basic 6 paths jutsu, from the Deva path's ability to attract and repel forces to the human path's ability to rip out souls. The only reason he didn't use both Rinnegan in the war was because just using one Rinnegan put an enormous strain on Obito's body, despite the Senju DNA cells that were being used to boost his chakra. Going into his arsenal of ninjutsu, it becomes really clear why Obito was strong enough to make Nagato agree to let Obito lead the Akatsuki, all while Obito pulled the strings from the shadows with Nagato acting as the puppet head. While all this was going on, when he first approached Nagato, Obito told Nagato that he could teach him the true power of using the Rinnegan, which is further proof that Obito knew all the jutsu. Obito's wood style allows him to use the wood dragon jutsu, which allows him to create a giant wood dragon to attack his enemies from a distance. Fire release, Blast Wave, Wild Dance is a jutsu that only Obito is shown being able to use, and is completely overpowered. It combines his Mangekyo Sharingan ability in Kamui and his fire style attack. After molding chakra, Obito combines the power of his Mangekyo Sharingan to fire off a stream of fire that shoots towards the enemy in the shape of a spiraling whirlwind, and when the enemy is caught inside the vortex, they have no chance of escape, leaving them to be burned until the jutsu stops. Like all Uchiha, he can use the Great Fireball Jutsu, which is when used by the right Uchiha, is able to create heat so dense and so powerful that it can actually crack the ground. The Phoenix Flower Sage Jutsu allows Obito to shoot off a volley of small fireballs at his enemy in a scatter shot, allowing him to direct their movements, all while he prepares his next attack. The hiding like a mole jutsu allows him to tunnel underground, and because Obito's listed as a sensory ninja in the data book, he can read the magnetic field around him to find his enemy, or he can simply search out their chakra and pop out of the ground to attack them or drag them underground without any type of warning. When Obito has the Rinnegan, his mastery over it far surpasses Nagato's, and I'll give you guys an example of why. Like Nagato, Obito can use all the 6-path jutsu, as well as the outer path's chakra chains. However, Obito's demonic statue chains, which are produced by the outer path, is a jutsu that Nagato doesn't have in the data book. These chains were stated by Obito to far surpass the chains that Nagato could produce, and they are incorporated with a cursed seal, which means that they can immobilize a Biju while inflicting enormous pain on any non-Biju or Jinchuuriki who's caught inside these chains. Obito also has Izanagi, the forbidden Uchiha jutsu to rewrite reality at the expense of one of their eyes, meaning even if you manage to kill Obito, he could simply rewrite reality to bring himself back to life. Or he could even do what Madara did and program Izanagi to be used as a time-release jutsu, set to go off after a certain period of time after his death, which is extremely overpowered. During his training with Madara, Obito was also taught the 6-pass Coffin sealing Jutsu, which is the sealing jutsu that is meant specifically to make a vessel into the 10 Tails Jinchuuriki. After using this jutsu and becoming a Jinchuuriki, Obito gained the Sage's 6-pass Senjutsu, which allowed him the ability to understand all things chakra, freely combine yin and yang release to create the yin yang release, and Obito understood chakra so well that all ninjutsu that was rooted in all 5 changes in chakra nature were at his disposal to be used. Another jutsu that Obito was taught by Madara is the Red Yang Seal. After placing black rods created by gaining the Rinnegan in a set location, Obito is able to send his chakra to each of these rods to create a barrier. This barrier is strong enough to not only stop a tailed beast ball, but is shown being able to contain 4 fully powered Biju balls all at once. The only downside to this space-time ninjutsu is that any space-time ninjutsu can be used to escape the barrier. When Obito is a Jinchuuriki, he's able to use the tailed beast ball as well as the chakra arms, but most impressive are his truth-seeking balls. Now, the truth-seeking balls are the balls that float around Obito and can be either used for offensive or defensive purposes. These balls are made up of all 5 changes in chakra nature and are powerful enough that they can instantly negate the regeneration ability of Edo Tensei, and if they're used correctly, can be used to permanently kill an Edo Tensei. Obito can also use them as projectiles, moving at insane speeds, or he can expend the balls to use as a shield, or he can use them to block elemental chakra attacks. He also has the ability to change the shape of the truth-seeking balls to benefit him in whatever way he needs in battle, allowing Obito to create weapons out of the truth-seeking orbs. Finally, his Uchiha Flame Formation Jutsu is one exclusive to the Uchiha clan, which creates a barrier of flames so powerful that it incinerates whoever comes into contact with it. Well guys, what did you all think about Obito's true power? Has he become more powerful in your eyes, or do you still think he's not strong enough for you guys to call him a top 5 Uchiha clan member? And do you think that Nagato was more powerful than any version of Obito? Also, which is your favorite version of Obito? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share, and never forget that Senju DNA is love, Senju DNA is life. Have an awesome day.